Kenya was represented by Central Bank Governor Professor Njuguna Ndung'u.
A crisis in the center affecting developed countries, and the center, once it is trying to grab or the effects are coming out, we have different sparks and failures coming to the periphery. We are in the periphery.
When the crisis hit the West, the genesis was in the financial institutions which are dependent on the global economy, unlike those in the developing world.
Everybody thought that our banking sector is in crisis. So, but because one, of the level of development, and two, the linkages with the center was not very strong, especially the Kenyan bank, and three, perhaps our own regulatory framework was working, they didn't feel the effects. But the biggest problem is that the banks quickly jumped to and became very risk averse to make sure that they are not affected by that crisis. So far nobody is talking about the banking crisis because they are quick to adjust and insulate themselves.
But the message from the International Monetary Fund, IMF, is that the crisis will catch up with Africa soon rather than later.
The impact is now arriving, and in 2009 this impact will be severe.
It's in the real economy as opposed to fiscal system where African countries are now getting affected.
You produce your coffee, by the time the gestation period for the seasonal cycle takes a long time. If you are hit so hard, the means of adjustment and the speed of adjustment is very slow.
The crisis has seen a drop in foreign exchange earnings, a slump in availability of credit, declining remittances from the diaspora, while demand for commodities from Africa has also declined. But according to the CBK governor, the crisis should be looked at sector by sector in order to apply appropriate policies as opposed to a general approach.
Everybody takes tea regardless of whether there's a crisis or not, isn't it? Coffee. But then we can't say the same for tourism.
The Kenyan government is already cutting down on expenditure, but development expenditure will remain intact as a way of cushioning the economy against job losses.
We are watching the situation very carefully, and we want at the same time to be prepared to, for the economy to recover. So that's how we are focusing our budgeting and our expenditures.
The Bretton Woods institutions, on the other hand, have pledged to offer quick and flexible concessional funding to African countries, Kenya included. Alex Chamwada, Citizen TV, Dar es Salaam.